Welcome into Saturday Night Lights, your go-to spot for college football talk under the bright lights. Tonight on the show, we're going to have offseason look ahead, championship game preview, not previews, championship game picks, and talk about all the head coaches that were just hired and if a few teams made the right choice and much more. Why don't we get started here with the did Florida State and did Florida State, Boston College, and a couple of other teams make the right choice keeping their head coach? First, we're going to start with Florida State. Did the Seminoles make the right choice keeping Mike Norvell? Go ahead
They
and
don't have
give
a
your
choice
two
because
cents.
his buyout is way too much. They don't have a choice in the matter. They can't afford to buy him out and then bring in another big name coach. So they're caught between a rock and a hard place. And unfortunately, they lost in Gainesville on Saturday to the Gators. They didn't make a bowl game. And I think what Florida State really needs to look at too is how about going out and recruiting a quarterback? The last two seasons have not done well with you with these guys coming in from the transfer portal. DJ Ugalaway, if I'm even pronouncing his last name correctly, and now Castellanos. Those guys are at the end of their run, and they didn't do anything to help Florida. Florida State had a good defense, but their offense is horrible. And no, I mean, they don't have a choice with Norvell, unfortunately. Sorry, FSU, but you don't have a choice.
Unfortunately, I agree with you. It's unfortunate that they don't have a choice in getting rid of Norvell. Now, what about Boston College? 2-10, their worst record in football in probably 6 or 7 years. Hey, everybody, you can make fun of me. I just did this 6-7.
It's okay. I hate that meme too. But that's okay.
But yeah, do you think Boston College made the right choice keeping Bill O'Brien?
Bill O'Brien's been there. Was this his second year or third year?
Yeah, second.
I would say yes. They need to give him one more season. Let him go do some recruiting, and maybe he can get. I mean, obviously, BC, it's the ACC. Nothing against the conference, but they don't play in a tough conference. So give him some time. Let him get his players in there. Let him get his players in there, and maybe he turns it around next season and they go to a bowl game. Because they're only 4 wins away next season from a bowl game. So I'd say yes, they're okay. BC's okay with O'Brien.
I think there was a couple other schools that kept their coach. I want to say, do you have the list of schools that have new head coaches? And
I put out a bunch on the quarterback.
I think there was a couple other schools that decided to keep their coach for another year.
Let me see. I've got some wild ones for some job openings.
Well, you know what? Let's get to that.
Okay.
Let's start with Penn State because UCLA's off the board now. Bob Chesney's the new head coach at UCLA.
Right.
Which
how about Brian?
How do you feel about that?
I think he made the right choice. I mean, you're going out again. It's going to be easier to bring kids if you're out in Southern California than you're in the middle of Pennsylvania in the snow. I'm sorry, but if I'm 18, I'm going to California to enjoy the
I would agree with you 100%.
And nothing against Penn State and in Happy Valley and all that, but if I'm an 18-year-old kid and I'm growing up, let's say I grew up in the northern states where it was cold and I had an opportunity to go out west to the beach in California and Los Angeles, I'm gone. I'm in LA in a heartbeat.
Well, and then I agree with you on that. And then let's get to the elephant in the room. Lane Kiffin. What a backstabber.
There's a bunch of backstabbers in college football coaching pool. You play again. him and Golish play that role of, oh, well, we have to talk to our wives, we have to talk to our family. We haven't had time. Those guys knew where they were going. He knew he was going to LSU. And I think he signed a $13 million a year contract?
$91 million total.
So he 13 mil.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. And and me personally, but I'm wondering, you just paid what, 45 million to Brian Kelly? I think.
Yeah.
What's Kiffin's buyout going to be? 50,
well,
50
and
million?
and here's the thing, it's a new AD. It's not Scott Woodward anymore.
Oh, they have a new AD. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
New athletic director.
Okay.
And you know what? It's puzzling to me. So Kiffin leaves for LSU, and they just said, "Oh, we're just going to promote Pete Golding."
Their DC. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they don't even give him the interim tag. They give him straight up to the. They say, "You're going to be our next head coach." Do you think the reason they're doing that is because they know Kiffin? Since he's not going to coach the playoff game, do you think they made Golding the new head coach because they knew Kiffin was going to try to poach?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Some of the kids away from Ole Miss, because did you notice right after Kiffin signed that contract with LSU had a 4-star wide receiver jump in the portal.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
because I think he knows. Oh, Kiffin's the new head coach, so I'm not going to get any playing time because he's going to bring his Louis luggage, as people like to call it in college football. Mm-hmm. He's going to bring his Louis luggage with him.
Yeah,
and sounds like they're going to get Kawan Lacey, the running back from Ole Miss?
I wouldn't. I mean, they're probably going to be more than that, but yeah, I'm assuming Lacey will go to LSU and follow Kiffin. But correct me if I'm wrong too, and I haven't watched a lot of Ole Miss football. They're more of a running team, aren't they? More than a passing team. Do they like to run the ball?
Yeah, with Chambliss, and that's the other one. Is they're talking Chambliss might go to LSU.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
And you know what? This is a smart move by Lane Kiffin. He took his entire offensive staff with him to LSU.
Yeah. Well, probably like you were just asking the question, but about the DC, they probably didn't want him to go too, so they just promoted him to.
Well, no, because what I heard is they like the defensive staff they have.
Oh, at LSU. Okay. That would have
I think it's Blake Baker's the defense coordinator, I think.
Okay. So there's gonna be a new head coach and a new offensive coordinator at LSU.
And then in a wild turn of events, I think we both called this way earlier in the season. Coastal Carolina fired Tim Beck.
Yeah. Well, I think we also had a writing on the wall with that one, but honestly, I think we saw the writing on the wall. That was coming. It just depended on when it was coming, but yeah, it was coming.
Get to the and then Stanford made an interesting hire too.
I didn't see
Tavani Pitchard. He was the quarterbacks coach for the Commanders.
Oh, really? Somebody from the NFL? Oh, okay.
Well, and I guess the thing is, I guess he has ties to Stanford. I guess he played running back at Stanford.
Oh, so he's alum. So it's his alma mater. Okay.
Yeah. Oregon State. Let's talk about Jamarcus Shepard. I have no knowledge of where he coached before.
I've never even heard of his name until you mentioned it, but so I have no idea where he came from.
It's an outside the box to me, and you can chime in, but to me, it's an outside the box hire.
Well, it's a 50-50
neither of us have heard of him.
it's a 50-50 one on that because you may have gotten a guy that is great, or you go out on outside the box like that, and the whole program goes to hell in a handbasket. So it just depends on which way it goes. So we'll see.
Yeah.
For the Beavers.
Well, and then, hey, here's another one we called Mark Stoops.
That's not a shocker. That's not a shocker. Kentucky's taken a little down. The last few seasons, Kentucky's gone down into the bowels of the SEC. So whoever takes the coaching job there is going to have a lot of work to get that team back to relevance.
Well, and then immediately after firing him, they hired the Oregon offensive coordinator.
Again, sometimes it's just a change of
Stein.
scenery. Yeah. Hopefully it works out well for him. He's going to have a lot to do in Lexington, so I wish him the best of luck with the Wildcats.
I wish him the best of luck too. So now let's get to the jobs that are still open. One being Penn State. And it seems like the Brian Hartline talk is kind of simmer. Do you think it's simmered down? Because I think it has.
I have a one, and I was reading it today, doing research, but for our show. How about this scenario happens? The New York Giants fire Brian Dable, and he takes the Penn State job.
Well, phase one is already in motion. The Giants already fired Brian Dable.
Oh, perfect. Then okay. Then let that happen. Then let that happen. Then okay. I didn't see anything about him being let go. Okay, so they did let him go.
Yeah, Kafka's the interim there in New York.
Okay.
But I wouldn't mind that for Penn State. It's a little outside the box. But people are trying to throw around the name Terry Smith, who's the interim right now.
The only thing with interim coaches is you give them the leniency. It's that way you don't have to it's not a big payday because you just promote them to head coach. They might go that route. Because what was James Franklin's buyout with Penn State? How much did he get paid when they let him go?
I think it was $25 or $30 million. But so hey, we can talk about him in a minute.
Yeah.
and people are already saying, "Oh, Penn State made a bad mistake getting rid of Franklin."
No, and he's going to do well with his new team. No, they didn't. He can't win a big game, and hopefully he can in Vautech. Hopefully he can in Blacksburg. But
speaking of that, segue right into it. What do you rate this on the scale of 0 being a horrible hire, 1 being and then 3 being good hire, 4 being excellent, 5 being home run for Virginia Tech?
I'm going to say, Bud, because of his history, I'm going to say 3. I'm going to say it was a good hire. They needed to get a new voice in Blacksburg. I think he'll do well because he's a good recruiter. It's going to be if Virginia Tech stays in the ACC, can he win a big game? Can he beat a Virginia? Can he beat a Florida State? Can he beat a Clemson? It's going to come down to those conference games because he couldn't beat Ohio State. He couldn't beat Michigan.
Well, you? Mm-hmm.
Oh, go.
My thing is, have you seen what he's been doing on the recruiting trail since taking the Virginia Tech job?
I have not.
He's putting in the work. Big time.
Not surprising.
No. And I think this is going to be, I give it a 4.5 for me.
Okay.
I'm not going to say home run. I'm going to say it's a very good hire. And I think it's going to work wonders for Virginia Tech. And then the other one, and this is big, my part of the country, Big Ten, Pat Fitzgerald to Michigan State.
They've been talking.
Did either of us see that coming?
I didn't. No, I didn't. And I know they've been talking a lot about that signing, how that was very, very big for Michigan State. So
Now, I doubt it happens, but could you see a Sharon Moore getting fired by Michigan?
no, I know they're under a lot of heat from the cheating scandal. No, because Michigan, they're bowl eligible. They were ranked most of the season this year. No, I mean the only reason they would fire him is if the team did something stupid again. That would be the only reason I'd see him getting fired. They'll give him another year or 2 years, and then if they don't get back to where they were when Harbaugh was there, then yeah, they may give him the axe at that point.
So with USF being open in Memphis, who could
It's
you see
Lane.
taking into Tulane? All three of those
Actually, and
AAC.
you could even throw North Texas into that conversation as well. You could
Oh
throw
yeah,
all of
because
them.
Eric Morris is now the head coach at
Correct.
Oklahoma State.
Correct.
So let's talk about who we think could take those 3 jobs, those 4 jobs. First, of course, we're going to start with, and we're not trying to be homers, we're going to start with USF. Who are your, if you had to make up a big board, who are your 4 candidates for the USF job?
I'm going to start with, this is way out there. He lives in Tampa. He coached the Buccaneers. John Gruden. And the reason that I would, if I'm Rob Higgins and Derek Brooks, who are on the board there at USF, I tell John this: stay with us for 2 seasons. Now, hear me out when I say this. 1, you close the last season out at Raymond James Stadium, where you coached the Bucs to a Super Bowl, and 2, you're the first coach in the new stadium, on-campus stadium. How cool would that be as a draw to have John Gruden close the season out? The last USF finishes their tenure at Raymond James next season in the 2026 year. 2027, they're in the on-campus stadium. I would tell him, John, stay with us for 2 years. If you want to go back to the pros or you want to go back to Barstool, just stick with us for 2 years. Recruit, bring this program, keep the program moving as Alex Golish left it. So that's one, buddy. That would be number 1.
Can I throw a name on the big board?
Go ahead.
Deion Sanders.
That is another one that I would have added to my board as well.
Because I think his time at Colorado is coming to an end. Because he made the dumb decision of redshirting Julian Lewis, when Colorado had nothing to play for the last 4 weeks.
Right.
And I think Julian Lewis only started 1 game. So he still had 3 games he could play in.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, Deion, who's your third person to put on the board? And then I'll give you the last one.
I would have to go, bud. Let's see. Wow. Colorado finished, what is their record? 3-9? Wow, that's a bad year. Okay. This one is out there, but I would think USF would be stupid, and that's Billy Napier. I've heard that name out there. I don't think you go that route. He didn't have pieces in Florida near the end. He would definitely be on my board, but I don't think that he would be the last choice if I was Rob Higgins. And nothing against Billy Napier, but that would be my last choice if that was my,
So that would be number 3.
Yeah.
Because number 4, and this might be a little bit out there, how about going and taking the coach from, how about trying to poach a coach from the FCS?
That wouldn't be a bad idea. They did that for their baseball team at USF, and they had a winning season. So there you go. Mm-hmm.
Or you know what? I'll throw a name out there because he's getting talked about for for every job there is. Not Billy Napier. How about Luke? Oh, that was the other one, Wisconsin, with Luke Fickell. But we can talk about that in a second. But Chris Ash, who used to be the defense coordinator at Ohio State and the head coach at Rutgers before Schiano took over at Rutgers.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he keeps the program where it's in the direction it's in now, because USF's on the rise, we just don't want to have another, like, we had 3 winning seasons and then we take a dive down. The fans don't want to see that struggle that they had with Jeff Scott and the end for Charlie Strong. But yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I've even been hearing a name too, but Warren Sapp. I know Warren's been on the staff with Dion, but I don't think that you want to promote he's not a coordinator. He's a position coach. I don't know if you want to go that far to promote.
No, I would stay.
I've heard that name too.
I'd stay away from Warren Sapp. Before we get to the other 3 schools in the American, why don't we talk about Wisconsin and Luke Fickell? That's head scratching to me. Luke Fickell getting another year at Wisconsin. Is it head scratching to you?
Where did they finish, Bud, this year? What was their record? Hang on, man. Let me look that up real quick.
I think it was 4-8.
4-8?
I think. I could be wrong.
You're right, but they were 4-8, 2-7 in the conference. Ooh, yikes! 2-7. Who did they beat in the conference?
Washington and Illinois.
Yeah, those were their 2 conference wins. I think, but we, obviously we every year before, later on next year, we'll get into, our college coaches that are on the hot seat. Fickell's on a short leash. This is it. If Wisconsin doesn't improve,
I would say extremely short. Same with Satterfield, even though Cincinnati had a good year.
Yeah, those 2, with Satterfield in the Big 12 and Fickell in the Big 10, they're both on very, very short leashes. Very, very short.
Extremely. So, I guess we could take a break from that and let's get into picking all the conference championship games.
Cool.
And we start with the Conference USA championship game between Kennesaw State and Jacksonville State. And I'm going to say this. I've been seeing stuff all day on TikTok of people saying, oh, if so-and-so, if this happens, Kennesaw State could get into the playoff.
No, I think that's a wild thing, but no, I don't. I don't see that happening. Yeah.
The spread is 2.5 in favor of Kennesaw State. 59.5 is the total. Who are you taking and why?
I think I had Jacksonville State winning the Conference USA, so I'm going to take them. I think when we made our picks earlier in the season, I think we may have had these 2 teams near the top when it was all said and done.
We did.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go Kennesaw State because I don't think either of us expected Kennesaw State to be 9-3.
Yeah.
In first year under Jerry Mack. Oh boy. The Sun Belt Championship game, James Madison and Troy. And I wonder if Bob Chesney, soon to be the new head coach of UCLA, is going to be coaching this game.
I'm going to probably say not because he'll want to get out on the road and start recruiting for the Bruins. But I'm still going to take James Madison.
I am too. And you know what? They could sneak into they could backdoor. Yes. I'd love that. Give me the Dukes. North Texas and Tulane.
Yeah, see, if we had beat Memphis, man, This would be us right now. Both of these teams are going to have new head coaches or interim coaches, obviously.
It's still going to be a good game.
No, it's going to be a good game. I'm going to take the Mean Green. I saw them play USF. I didn't get to see Tulane play that much this year, but North Texas, their quarterback, I think he might transfer out of there too. But I'm going to take the Mean Green.
And I am too. Development Dan in UNLV against Boise State.
Another team I got to see play this year that USF beat in week 1. But you know what? I'm going to pick against him. I'm going to pick Dan Mullen. He was a Gator. I'll take UNLV.
Give me Development Dan Mullen. Because there's a guy I watch on YouTube, and I don't know if he has beef with Dan Mullen, but every time he does a recap video and he gets to UNLV and they either win or lose, he puts up a picture of Dan Mullen, and under it says development. I'm going to take UNLV. Now we get to Saturday. BYU, Texas Tech.
Oof. Wow.
It sounds like BYU might be losing their coach too.
This is going to be a good football game.
Sataki might be taking a job at Penn State.
I'm going to take Texas Tech. They just yeah. Give me the Red Raiders.
Give me Texas Tech. It's basically a home game for Texas Tech.
In Arlington? Yeah.
Hey, didn't we both pick Miami of Ohio to be in the MAC championship game?
We did.
Like I said, I'm taking Texas Tech. Miami of Ohio, Western Michigan.
I have a friend of mine who's a photographer for the sports for Miami of Ohio. So I'm taking for my friend Jessica. I'm taking Miami of Ohio.
I'm also taking the Red Hawks. Oh, people are outraged over the SEC championship game, and the fact that Ole Miss isn't in it, and the fact that Texas isn't in it, or Texas A&M. Get over it, people.
A&M lost to Texas. You lost to Texas at the last game of the year. There you go, man. Sorry.
Who you got, the Dogs or the Tide?
Oh, wow. These are the two most hated teams in the SEC right now. Give me Georgia because I'm closer to Georgia, and Alabama just won't go away. They just do not go away. So give me the Bulldogs. It'll be a close football game.
Give me Georgia. And people are saying, oh, Texas deserves to be in the playoff. They're not going to get in.
No.
They would need a minor miracle to get in.
Yes.
Ohio State, like I said, I'm taking Georgia. Indiana, Ohio State. Here is what I've got. I did a little stat taking on this game. And I want people to listen to this. Indiana has the second-ranked scoring offense with 44 points. Ohio State has the 13th best scoring offense at 37 points per game. Scoring defense, Indiana second, 10.9 points. Ohio State, of course, as we know, first, 7.5 points allowed per game. And you got to tell me that's not ridiculous? Matt Patricia. Third down conversion. Fourth. Offensive third down conversion rate. Indiana's third. No, fourth. No. Indiana's second, correction, with a 56.6 third down conversion rate. Ohio State is first with a 56.9 third down offensive percentage rating on third down. Defense, third down rating. Indiana is fourth. 27% of the time they give up a first down on defense. Ohio State is third on second, giving up 27.5% on third down defense. Now, is that going to influence either of our picks, or are we both going with Ohio State?
As I was telling my co-host before the show started, you can't score points against the Buckeyes. So until somebody can figure out how to score against Matt Patricia,
just ask Michigan.
Yeah,
that's all I got to say. Ask Michigan what happens. 3 field goals.
Until someone can put points up on them and make them play offense, make them play from behind, or make them take a lead against them that's larger than 3 points. I would love to see Cignetti and the Hoosiers upset them. I just don't see that happening. I know it's in Indianapolis. I know, obviously Indiana will have more fans in the stands, but Ohio State travels well. So, yeah, the Buckeyes.
That I was just about to say that.
Yeah.
I've also taken Ohio State. And now, in the weirdest conference championship game matchup, we've got 7-5 Duke and 10-2 Virginia. And oh boy, this is a nightmare. This is what the ACC doesn't want.
No, they don't.
You better hope Virginia wins, because if Duke wins, ain't nobody from the ACC getting in the playoffs. Miami's going to be left out. Virginia's going to be left out.
I like the Cavaliers. They've had a good season all year. They should end it well with a championship and a chance to at least play in one playoff game. I don't know if they'll get past the first round, but at least one playoff game.
I'm also going to take Virginia, and we are going to do the CFP. We're going to pull up the CFP rankings, and we are going to see here. Where is college football playoff? And I know these are not the updated rankings, everybody, but we're going to try to predict where we think teams are going to be. So any movement, obviously Texas A&M is going to probably, and these rankings, the new rankings come out in an hour. So A&M is obviously going to, we both think, fall. How far?
I think they'll fall near to the maybe 3 or 4 spots.
So Georgia's going to move up, obviously. Does the committee, do they flip Indiana and Ohio State, or do they keep Indiana and Ohio State 1 and 2?
I don't see any. I don't see. The only way that you would flip those two is if Indiana somehow beats them on Saturday in the Big Ten championship game. The only way that would happen. There's no way that you're going to put. Again, no one can score on the Buckeyes. So until someone scores points, you can't change their rankings for that one.
The other thing I have, so you're moving Georgia up, you're moving Texas Tech up. What about Oregon?
Where did the Ducks obviously didn't make it to the Big Ten championship game.
They're 6.
They're 6.
Because Georgia's probably going to move up to 3. Texas Tech will move up to 4.
Okay.
The big question I have is, what are they going to do with Ole Miss? Are they going to treat Ole Miss like they treated Florida State?
Oh, my Florida State buddy gave me another riot act on the phone the other day about that. Oh, we were 13-0 and they didn't put us in the playoff. I don't know if they do that to Ole Miss. I don't know if they do that to Ole Miss.
No, what I'm saying is, do you think they dock them because of Lane Kiffin leaving?
I would hope not, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did.
If they do dock them, how far do you think they fall?
Well, I mean, they beat.
Did you see Oklahoma being in front of them? Notre Dame, Alabama, BYU.
Oklahoma. I don't know, because the Sooners had some big wins. Notre Dame is the enigma because, again, they're independent. They don't play in a conference.
And they're never going to. That's the problem, is they're never going to, because if they
just
and
pay too
what
much
people
money.
need to understand is if Notre Dame ever joined a conference,
Yeah.
their TV deal would be bye-bye.
Yeah.
Gone.
Yep. It'd be gone.
If they do dock Ole Miss, I could see them moving them down to like 11 or 12.
Okay.
Or maybe, actually, I could see them moving them down to like 15, maybe.
So everybody, Utah, Vanderbilt had a big win. Thank God they beat Tennessee. I'm so happy about that. You think they're going to put them below Miami, bud?
Yeah.
Below Miami?
I can see that. I can see it putting them at 15 below all those teams. And Michigan's probably going to drop out now that they've lost 3 games.
I would think so. And especially, and they only put up 9 points in a rival game. I wouldn't be surprised.
Now, the elephant in the room is Texas. Does Texas deserve to be in the playoff? 8-3.
No, they have 3 losses. No. Because if
that's
the case,
what I'm saying. I'm right there with you. They do not deserve to be in the playoff. These people.
USF had 3 losses. We're not in the playoff. So
exactly. It should be the same thing for Texas. Yeah. Because I don't care that you beat Vanderbilt. I don't care that you beat Texas A&M. I don't care that you've beaten, is it 3 top 25 teams?
Yeah, but look what happened to them in week 1. They were dismantled by Ohio State. They struggled. And
people are trying to say, there's already people making the excuse that they should, if they get left out of the playoff, they should threaten to cancel the Ohio State game next year.
Where is it at? Is it in Texas or is it
in Austin?
It's in Austin. Okay, so it's a home game for the Longhorns.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you do that? Then that, to me, if you cancel the game next season,
you're scared.
Exactamundo. I could put it in more blunt words, but yeah, you're scared. You can't play them in Columbus, or was it a neutral site game this year?
No, it was in Columbus
at the Horseshoe. Okay, so yeah, no. So if you because you didn't get in the playoff and you cancel an out of conference game that can help you get better with the committee, yeah, that's stupid. That would be dumb on Texas's part. So
now, I do think they moved Texas up a couple spots.
Okay.
But there's no way you can move them up past Utah, past Miami, past BYU. And that's where everybody's saying is, BYU is going to get screwed. Because if they lose in the Big 12 championship game, that gives them a second loss. And the committee would think about putting Miami in over them. Which I'm sorry, Miami does not deserve to be in the playoff.
I agree.
I don't care that they've lost only 2 games. It's Mario Cristobal. What have we learned the last 2 years?
Well, he'll like we say, he'll hurricane his way out of a game. Crystal ball
his way out of a game.
Yeah, it'll come down to it. And again, they're not see, I don't understand that either. You're not in the conference championship game. BYU's in the conference championship game. Miami is not. Miami did not make the ACC championship game. So you have no room to talk.
Now, could you see Virginia moving up and jumping Miami?
Absolutely. If they win the championship, absolutely. Absolutely. They might be the ACC representative if that happens. If they should be.
Let's hope that happens, because we don't want the scenario where a 7-5 Duke. Because there's people saying a 7-5 Duke, if they win the ACC, that they could get into the playoff. That's ridiculous.
That's like having a under 500 NFL team host a playoff game, but that happens.
Well, that's like putting 8-3 Texas in the playoff.
No, If they lose to Duke, then Virginia deserves to be knocked out. But I'm hoping the Cavaliers are able to win it. If Duke win, wow, that would be. If Duke wins, the whole playoff thing is going to be up in
in
the air. Like, it's
shambles
going to be
because you
all
could get, but
messed up.
if that happens, you can have 3 group of 5 teams in the playoff.
Yeah,
North Texas, James Madison, and Tulane.
yeah. Whoever wins the American, whether it's the Mean Green or the Green Wave, and then James Madison wins their conference game. Yeah, why not put him in there? You know,
That's wild. Here we go. I want your opinion. So I don't know if you watched the Michigan Ohio State game on Saturday.
I did not, but I forget what I was doing on
Did you
Saturday. I didn't get a chance to watch
see
college football.
the highlights though? Michigan decided after the game to stand in front of the M because they thought Ohio State was going to plant their flag.
I would hope that wouldn't happen since it happened last year. And
No, it didn't. Ryan Day and all the coaching staff told the guys to go celebrate in the locker room. Don't plant the flag. And they listened. But it's just like, and then you got my issue is not with Michigan. It's with Dave Portnoy. All he did the whole year on Big New Kickoff, whether it be they were at Ohio State or when they were at Cincinnati, wherever they were, all he would do is just run his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And half the time it was about Ohio State.
Yeah.
And people want to say, oh, Michigan lives rent-free in Ohio State fans' heads. No. I mean, I don't know if you would agree with me. I think it's the opposite. I think Ohio State lives rent-free in Michigan's heads, especially Dave Portnoy.
I was going to say, I think when it comes down to it, I think it's him alone. Because
and nobody likes him.
Wasn't he banned from the campus when the Fox thing was at?
Supposedly.
Okay.
That's what they said. But then the Ross Bjork, the AD at Ohio State, said, oh, no, that's not true. They're allowed to come. They're just not allowed to be at the Woody Hayes Athletic Center.
Okay.
But no, everybody thinks, and I've talked to many people. I even work with a Michigan fan, and he says he can't stand Dave Portnoy. And I don't know if you saw, he had I'm not going to say a bet, but he did a live stream for the Michigan-Ohio State game with somebody else, one of the other Barstool people. And with like 4 or 5 minutes left in the game, he got up and said, I have to catch a flight, turned around, shook the guy's hand, walked out. I'm sorry. To me, that seems like somebody that's a sore loser. Saying you have to catch a flight when during the game, okay, maybe you do have to catch a flight, but also that kind of sounds like you're
ducking out.
Yeah, ducking. Because you know you're going to get.
I respect Dave and Barstool and all that stuff, but I think sometimes, like a lot of people like himself, I think sometimes they don't think they have no filter. So whatever comes out of your mouth comes out of your mouth. So for him, I think that's partly his problem. But yeah, if I mean, I've had to sit through many USF losses, and sorry, but you have to sit there. I mean, I understand if you have a flight, that's completely, fine. Great. You have
to me, I think that was a cop-out to get out of there because he knew Michigan was going to lose.
Right. And that's a possibility. That's a very big possibility.
The other thing I have to say is he said on the pregame, if Michigan wanted a real quarterback, he'd take money out of his own checkbook and he'd write a check to get him a real quarterback. So are you saying Bryce Underwood's not actually that good?
I think he did pretty well this year for them, did he not?
Yeah, I think he, as an Ohio State fan, yes, I think he did do good. But then there's people trying to say, "Oh, he should go in a portal and transfer to Ohio State and sit as the fourth string because he'd be developed."
Why would he want to leave a school that he could start at to go be a four-string quarterback? That doesn't make any sense.
It's
Bryce, you
just
come to USF. We'll take you. You come down here.
We'll take you at USF because we're losing Byron Brown.
Byron Brown.
Well, don't we have who's the kid that threw the touchdown against Boise State?
Yeah, that's I forget the kid. Yeah, there's another kid too. Hewitt. So we're fine. I think we're fine with quarterbacks. But yeah, I mean, if he's available, we'll take you here, Bryce. I was going to say at Michigan. Let's stay at Michigan. You know, you're there. Stay there. You know,
it's amusing to me that Michigan fans all of a sudden are complaining. And the latest complaint I've heard from him is, "Oh, the referees were in Ohio State's pocket the entire game, especially on a Jeremiah Smith touchdown." And I'm just like, no, they weren't.
Well, again, it never should come down to referees. You just weren't prepared. The better team won on Saturday. They were better prepared.
Ohio State's offensive line was just, and I can tell you right now, I know what did Michigan in. Ohio State was driving their first drive. The first drive they had the ball, and it was third down on the Michigan 10-yard line. And Michigan was about to get a stop and make Ohio State kick a field goal. And Michigan, Jayshon Barham, headbutted the referee.
I saw that. Yep.
And he's lucky he did not get kicked out of the game. Because in the NFL, if you do that,
you're gone.
He's lucky that he got to stay in the game. But I think that really is what cost Michigan. And then you had Jordan Marshall playing for Michigan, but he was hurt. And Michigan's defensive line could not get any. If you saw the highlights, Julian Sayin had all day to throw.
Yeah.
He stood there in the pocket. It was like you could count to 10. Nobody was touching him. And then you got Bo Jackson that ran for over 100 yards. Jeremiah Smith had a touchdown. Carnell Tate had a touchdown.
Well, that's why. There you go right there. Your offense couldn't score more than 9 points. The defense couldn't stop their offense. So that's where you lost. It didn't come down to referees. It's the fact that you were outplayed.
No, they're whining because of the Jeremiah Smith touchdown because they think he didn't have possession and they think he dropped it out of the back of the end zone and it should have been a touchback. And they want to claim that Andrew Marsh is better than Jeremiah Smith.
Is that their wide receiver?
Yep. And guess how many catches he had the entire game against Ohio State on Saturday?
I'm going to say less than 5. 0. Less than
0. 1. No receptions, no receiving yards, no touchdowns. And he decided it was a good idea to bump an Ohio State coach before the game. I love Brutus, though. I don't know. It was going all over TikTok. I don't know if you got to see it. Brutus, so they came back from commercial break, and Gus Johnson's like, "Oh, Brutus is up to his old tricks. He went in the end zone, and he did an X over the M in Michigan." And then he did the script Ohio right outside the end zone.
Well, I mean, Rocky he was throwing KFC chicken to the fans on Saturday night, so I have pictures that prove that too. But yes, so and rice out of a crock pot throwing rice.
Hey, what do we say? We never pick
food. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very true.
food. Rice, that's food.
Yeah. Yep.
But let's wrap up with talking about who, if you're Tulane, who's on your big board for their next head coach?
Oh wow. See,
Obviously,
Tulane's
the
in
big names
one.
are gone. Sataki,
Yeah.
McGuire, Clark Lee.
Um,
Would you try to poach a coordinator away from somebody?
that would be what I would say.
Would you go?
Trying to think
And I
of
don't want to do this.
um,
Brian Hartline.
that's a possibility.
But
Um,
my issue is, and I'm saying this as an Ohio State fan, but at the same time, I don't know if he's ready to be a head coach.
mm,
The latest
probably.
rumor for Penn State now, and I meant to say this earlier, is Josh Heupel.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because there's a I know a bunch of Tennessee fans, and they're done with Heupel. They want him. They want him out the door and gone.
Right. That's a possibility. I'm trying to look up.
Willie Taggart.
You want to go down that road? You don't want to go down that road. You do not want to go down that. Oh, there we go. That's the guy I was thinking of. This is way out there, and this kid played the same high school that I went to, and is actually alumni at Tulane. Is Sean King? I think he's an analyst. I think with ESPN.
Who?
Sean King. He used to be quarterback at Tulane. He played for the Buccaneers. That's a long shot, long branch, but possibility. You get guys coming.
What
Oh,
about like Ray Lewis?
how about Trent Dilfer? Don't come to USF, Trent. Please, for the love of God, do not come here. Please, for the love of God, do not come here and coach.
I said Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis would be fine. He'd be fine. Lewis would be fine.
Butch Jones.
Butch Jones, the former Tennessee coach. Yeah, I could see that. Well, what
Brian
about
Kelly?
Brian Kelly? Who
Charlie
else?
Weiss Jr.
Yeah, he'd be in there. How about Mike Gundy?
Tommy.
You think that's too far fetched?
I'm not going to say too far fetched. I'm a man. I'm 40.
I'm 40. Because he'd be in New Orleans and he was with Oklahoma State, so he'd be somewhat close to where he was coaching before.
Brett Venables?
Yeah, I could see. Yeah.
Venables leaving Oklahoma?
No, I don't think he leaves that job. He got that team back on track. I know they didn't get off to a good start. They're back on track. I don't see him leaving Oklahoma.
Here's one,
No.
but this might be out in left field. Mark Richt.
Mark Richt, the former Georgia head coach. Well, it depends on his health, because that's always been his issue is his health. So I don't know. So
Dave Clawson, the former Wake Forest coach.
I was gonna say he was a former Demon Deacon. Yeah, it's gonna come down to one of those names, or one of the coordinators from another. Do you see Matt Patricia leaving Ohio State, or do you think he's gonna stay?
I've heard he loves Columbus.
So he'll stay. I'm sure that they'll pay him.
Hey, how about the Penn State defensive coordinator, Jim Knowles? He's going to be looking for a new place of employment.
There you go. Okay.
You should have stayed at Ohio State, Jim.
He could be a head coach in the American at Tulane or North Texas or USF.
He's a better defense. I don't think he's ever been a head coach. Gary Patterson. That's a name from way back. Chris Peterson.
Yeah. Chris Peterson. Yeah, that's a possibility.
But, ladies and gentlemen, I think, well, tell them about your show before we end things.
Yeah, we're finally back, guys. It's some technical difficulties and stuff like that, the holidays. I want to throw out, happy Thanksgiving to everybody that celebrates Thanksgiving. Hope everyone had a great one. The Walker Report will be back, guys, on Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We got John Cena's last PLE to talk about. I was watching it at the USF game, and I had to hold my tears in. It's just, it's hard to see John leaving. But we got to talk about that college. We'll talk about college football, the NHL, NBA. I know is getting off to a start, so we'll have it all on Thursday night for you guys.
But I think that's going to wrap up tonight's show. We will see everybody back here on Thursday with another episode of Saturday Night Lights. But instead of football, we are going to have a little hockey.
Yes.
On Thursday.
Look forward to that.
I do too. We will see everybody on Thursday night at 5:30 p.m.
Good night, guys.